I forgot I was on mute. Sorry. Yeah, I was just looking a bit still. I was just checking for the YouTube. It's behind, and so I wasn't sure whether if it was okay or not, or if the but yeah, it's just quite behind, so it's not oops, minimize that. It should be on in a minute. Hopefully it's working okay. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Oh, it's really hot. It's not really hot, but it's hot. Like it's not hot, but it's hot. Like the air is a bit muggy and it's yeah, it's warm. Wow, it really is behind. Hopefully it's gonna come on. It's gonna come on any minute now. Any second now. Yay! Wow, that took like a good 3 minutes, I think. Yeah, 3 or 4 minutes to stream. Wow. I'll try to bear that in mind when I'm asking things and getting questions, to leave some time for the live stream to catch up with the live Zoom. So now that it's going through, I'll bet slowly it's going through, I can continue. So if you'd like to first of all, hi, welcome to the stream. Lovely to see you. I can't see you, but lovely to be here and to be talking about non-duality. If you'd like to join the Zoom and speak, then you can join the Zoom link is in the description below the video. It should be a Zoom link. It's the same link every week, so it should be there for you to join. Please join now before the introduction, or then join after the introduction. It's fine as well. Let me admit somebody in. So yeah, join Zoom, or you can use the chat box on YouTube. But it is to say it's back behind on the chat box. So yes, that's the way it works. So yes, pleased to be streaming about this subject. So the title of this stream is innate, the innate, where is it? The innate, oh, it's gone. The innate, oh God, where is it? The innate, ease of this, yes. The innate ease of this. Lovely. So what non-duality is pointing to, or at least what's being pointed to here, is the innate ease of this, the innate ease of this. So this is the natural birthright, the natural innate nature of this is this ease, this flow, this not a problem, this not lack, this abundant, this fluid, this freedom, this absolute freedom, this absolute peace, this absolute ease, this absolute everything's okay ease. And as humans, we have forgotten that ease. We've forgotten that everything's actually okay, that there isn't a problem here. Which sounds crazy, like why would you forget that? If ease is here, there isn't a problem here. If freedom is here, why would you possibly forget that and choose to be absorbed in problems and things aren't okay? But it's not really a choice. I mean, you could argue it is, but it's not really a choice, as in, I consciously choose to suffer. I consciously choose to avoid or ignore this freedom and instead opt for struggle and suffering and pain. In one way, it is a choice, but it's not like a conscious choice, if you like. We as humans get, as part of our brain functioning, or just part of our DNA, part of our human conditioning, is to think and have thoughts appear. And these thoughts are telling stories about what is happening, about who we are, what this is, what the other is, what the world is. It's constantly narrating ideas about this experience. And that's, you could say that that's our inheritance as humans, is to have this narrative, this collective narrative, these collective ideas of how things are, of how this is. And we have this idea that in that we somehow have that control and power, and we influence, and we can change things and do all these things and manage and survive and all these things. And that has some truth to it, but not in the way we imagine it to be. We believe the stories our mind says, our thoughts, our ideas, so deeply, it becomes so habitual, so deeply conditioned into us that thoughts are true, our perceptions of reality is true, this storyline is true. And in that, there is a loss, seemingly, a loss of that natural ease, that natural freedom, that natural no problem, that natural flow. That story of who we are becomes so embedded in our body, embedded in our, like, if we're playing that story of who we are, constantly like embedded in it, constantly energizing it, constantly expanding it and adding to it and jiggling it around and constantly feeding it, then the experience will be of that. The experience will feel like it's in time. That time is real. I am real. My story is real. And in that story, there's always a problem. There's always some fear. There's always some issue. Because you can't control that. You can't control the imagination of future. You can't control the imagination of past, what has happened. So there's constant discomfort, this constant battle in that reality, the mental reality. And so what's being spoken about here is this remembering, this revealing of that which isn't in that time-bound mental story, that which is inherently free, where there isn't a problem, there isn't this big drama happening. Where everything's okay. And just imagine like 30, 40, 50, 60 years of believing in that story of you, how much emotion has been built up, how much fear, how much struggle, how much sadness and anger and hurt and has been built upon and held. And so to awaken out of that story, there is this release, there is this fire, maybe initially fire of those things you've been avoiding or not dealing with or repressing, or these fears that underlie these stories, these fears of being alone, these fears of being abandoned, these pains, these angers, all these things, all these deep stories. So it's a big thing to lose that, to wake up beyond that. Not beyond as in avoiding that, but beyond as in going through that, going through all these emotions and feelings and stories and seeing them for what they are. this dropping of them, this burning of them up. Like in the fire of this moment, it can't survive in the fire of this. And this is what is longed for, just the natural beingness, the naturalness of this. However, there's still that belief that you're looking for perfection in the world, in relationship, in your circumstances, in your finances, in your career, then there will continue to be that seeking for that disappointment in that. But what's really longed for is just this simplicity, this ease, this peace, this freedom, this naturalness, this naturalness of being. Simply this naturalness of being. Doesn't have bells and whistles on it. It's just this ease of being, this naturalness. Not special powers or being better than anyone. Just this naturalness, this ease, this peace. Not struggling and striving for something. Mm. Mm. Yummy, yummy, yummy. And our YouTube's behind, but any questions, then you're welcome to unmute in Zoom, or you can write in the is there a Zoom chat? Yes, there's a Zoom chat. In the Zoom chat, or you're welcome to unmute, or you can write in the chat box on YouTube. Samras, my health is always on roller coaster after my awakening to who I am. I'm looking for guidance. Logic says I should be better after awakening. Well, if your health is causing problems, if you have a health issue, I'd recommend you go to see a doctor and do also do your own research on alternative ways to help with your issue, whatever it is. I think those two things work well together. I think a doctor to have their input and their expertise, and then to look on the internet for other and books for other ways of supporting that health, so, and remedying that through other methods other than just medication. So yeah, I would say look in that direction for your health. Logic says I should be better after awakening. Yeah, that's just the mind saying that, but yeah, the body's an instrument. The body isn't permanent. The body's it's constantly dying, cells are being reborn, but at some point that will stop. So yeah, that's an idea that you should be better. You should be better. You should be free of disease or health issues. Yeah. So yeah, I would stay towards professional help with your health, and say research for alternatives. Could be eating certain food, going on a diet, having a healthier diet, eating live raw food. Could be exercising more, doing qigong, clear the channels, doing yoga, massage, essential oils. There's so much you can do these days to help your immune system and your body. So yeah, just research into that a bit more. Thank you, Samas. Balu. Hello to dear sister. Hello, Balu. hello, dear sister. Or brother, if you're a male, I don't know. Already spent so much money in hospitals, they don't know. Oh, okay. Yeah. Can be scary not knowing, you know. Yeah, I would say do your research. If you still can't find what it could be, and the doctors don't know what it could be, then you can do what you can to be healthy. As I say, eat well, exercise, take certain supplements to help, do certain exercises. And then if you don't know what's wrong or what's causing the issue, you could, like I could say a prayer, put it out there, and just be open to what response happens. But it could really be a great chance to like trust. So you can only do what you can do. You can only do as much as you can do. So research, ask doctors. If there's still no answer, then that's the answer, and you just have to trust in that and just have to surrender to that. But I can't possibly know what you should do about that. I'm not a professional medical person or a doctor or even an alternative health person. I don't really know. I've done certain things, but I don't really know what your problem or illness is. So I wouldn't say ask somebody online. I'd say go and do research what it could possibly be. If it's your leg or your throat or your head, or and try to do things that might help that area altogether. And then it's just like in the hands of life, whatever happens, happens. Maybe there'll be a cure for it, maybe there won't be. There'll be no improvement in it. But yeah, I wish you well with it, and hope something does come up to help. What I can say is this is it. This is it. So that rest is here, that ease is here. So maybe having an unknown illness creates anxiety or fear in the body. And that's okay. But the answer to that, it could be in getting the answer to what's wrong with you, like a diagnosis or a knowing what it is. But the answer to it ultimately is always this, that the rest you long for, the peace you long for, is always here. It's always this, it's always available. It's not in the mind, not in getting answers. Getting the answer might calm the body and calm that fear and anxiety, which is obviously helpful and feel better. But this can also calm the anxiety and the fear. This as in this, what is happening, this freedom, that which is not moving, that which is beyond mind, beyond the thinking story, your natural beingness. But yeah, we wish you well with that illness, your health. Excuse me. So feel free to ask any questions in the either in Zoom or in the YouTube chat box. Mm. Hi. I love. Why is it so hard? Sorry. Cough isn't. Why is it so hard to leave the burden? Excuse me. Well, the first thing that comes up is it's comfortable. It's familiar. It's familiar. The burden of you. the story of you. Problems of the world, it's familiar. Time. The experience of it is familiar and to an extent comfortable. It's uncomfortable, but we're familiar with that discomfort, and so it's comfortable. And it's like society conditions us to be afraid. We learn early on to be afraid and to cover up in a way, cover up. And to go along with the status quo, go along with the collective story of things. So naturally we want to fit in with our surroundings, fit in with our peers, our family. And so we're conditioned to do that for survival, to fit in and be protected and be a part of. And so if the collective story is one of suffering, of struggle, of problems, of fear, then we take that on and we partake in it. And it becomes just the norm and the habit, and just the way it is around here. Where have I got that from? Someone said that a while ago. That's the way, that's how it is around here. Something like that. Anyway, yeah, so it's just like it's familiar and comfortable. Although we know somewhere, we know it's not right, it's not natural, we know there's a better way, an ease, a freedom. We know it without knowing it or knowing where it is. Like beyond us, there's this knowing of something else. There's that seeking for something else. Like when you hear these talks, or not this talk, but any speakers you listen to and you resonate with, and you hear the speaking of it, you know it. When you look at a beautiful scenic scenery, there's beauty in you, you know this openness, you know it. What's looking, you know it. When you're in love with someone and you know it, you know this vast, huge love and peace and wholeness. But the collective conditioning can be very strong, very strong. The habit can be very strong. Thank you, love. I think that bit over the O changes how it's pronounced, but I'm not sure how you say that O like that. It changes it in Spanish, and I think French too, it changes it, but I'm not sure. Excuse me. And also, and also, it's like if you lose that, it's a fear of losing that as well. There's a lot of fear in losing that. Who would you be if you lost that? If you lost that story, lost that burden, that can be quite frightening as well. Even though it's painful, it can be frightening to actually lose it. It really does come down to what it is you actually want. What do you want? What do you want? It's quite a simple thing to ask, but yet I remember it was a very difficult thing to answer. I think. What do you want? I don't know. But it can be really helpful to ponder. Oh, I'm hot now. Ponder that question. Any more questions? Okay, so thank you for joining. Not far behind is YouTube. Yes, very valid. Well, thank you for joining the stream. It's been such a pleasure. And yeah, just lots of love. And I shall see you soon. Bye. Apologies if it cuts off before you hear me say bye.